I don't think we're live yet.
Ah.
Okay, I think now we're live. Greetings, friends. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, just started.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we're a little bit late this morning. We had a slight technical hitch. Apologies.
Okay.
So I'd like to introduce.
Yes, okay.
I'd like to introduce myself and also the Venerable sitting next to me. So I'm Ayya Brahmavara from the UK, and this is Ayya Punyasiri from Nirodharam Monastery in Thailand. And Ayya and myself, we just arrived at the monastery a couple of days ago, and today Bante, Siddhartha and Ayya Soma have gone on a Pindapat, and they've given us this opportunity to introduce ourselves and to speak a little bit about, particularly it would be interesting to speak about Nirodharam Monastery, how it started, the founding teacher, and let's see where that takes us. So we have an image of the monastery, which I'm just going to show you. Here we go. This is Nirodharam Monastery, where Ayya Punyasiri normally lives. It's in Chiang Mai, in the north of Thailand, and you can see what a beautiful buildings, beautiful forest surrounding the monastery. I believe it's actually the 25th anniversary of Nirodharam. I'm just seeing this here. 25 years of Nirodharam. So this is a great chance for us to find out about this really inspiring Bhikkhuni monastery in Thailand. The biggest Bhikkhuni monastery so far in Thailand. And so without any further ado, I'd like to invite Ayya Punyasiri to just tell us whatever you'd like to share regarding your life at Nirodharam and the history of your great monastery.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I am Punyasiri Bhikkhuni, come from Nirodharam, Chiang Mai, Thailand, with another one as Bhikkhuni Khemavamsi. We come here as a visitor to visit Empty Cloud Monastery in New Jersey, USA. For me, it's the first time coming here, but Bhikkhuni Khemavamsi, she came to the US many times. The reason why we come to Bhikkhuni because we are quite interested in Buddhism. Before coming Bhikkhuni, we visited some places in Chiang Mai named Nirodharam and found the teacher, Bhikkhuni named Nandayani. And in the past, she was a Vairava nun before coming to seminary and then Bhikkhuni. She spent more than 30 years in practicing herself in Buddhism. She is the one who began Nirodharam more than 30 years ago until it's the biggest Bhikkhuni arama in Thailand at this time. For me, myself, I ordained as Bhikkhuni for 10 years already. But before coming to Bhikkhuni, I started a seminary for 2 years and then going to Sri Lanka to high ordination for Bhikkhuni. And what else?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ayya.
And then Bhikkhuni Khemavamsi will join us. What you would like to share about this?
About how to become the Bhikkhuni.
Yes, and come to joy, why come to Nirodharam, something like that.
Yeah.
My name is Bhikkhuni Khemavamsi, or the full name is Ayya Khemavamsi Sutakagun. I was ordained as a seminary for 4 years and then 1 year as a Bhikkhuni, one Vassa Bhikkhuni. Before I ordained, I have to trace back to the past in the childhood. I have known Praja Nandayani since I was like a child because my parents know Prajan for a long time. When Prajan ordained as a nun, my dad ordained as a monk in the same monastery, in the same temple, Wat Tham Tong in Chiang Rai, I think, and maybe Chiang Mai. In Chiang Mai. And so we know they know each other since I was born, before I was born. So when I was 6 or 7 years old, I had a chance to learn how to meditate and to stay with the Prajan before Nirodharam. So when Prajan Nandayani established the Nirodharam, right? So my mom sent me there once a year since I was in the high school. Yes. But even though I'm a Buddhist and even though I know Prajan for a long time, but the interest in Buddhism just fade away, when teenager or something like that, with the world and things like that. But after I had a rheumatoid arthritis when I was 30 years old, and yes, so that's time that I encountered with the pain, with the suffering, with the sorrow that I couldn't escape. And until I was 33, that I think that I was gonna die. So I told my parents, because I kept it a secret for 3 years, until I think okay, now I think I was gonna die. So I told my parents, the last period of my life, to stay with them. So they took me to Prajan. And Prajan, the first word she told me, she asked me, what have you done? What have you done? You're just 33 years old, and I was in a bad shape. People told me that not more than a month, and you can go to the funeral, something like that. And Prajan asked me to read 4 sentences of the Blessed One, that the 5 aggregates are subject to birth, 5 aggregates are subject to sickness, are subject to aging, and are subject to death. And at that moment, that I feel it just boom, and I burst into tears. And at that moment, I realized that, okay, the Dharma is real. The Dharma is the truth. It's not just some teachings of someone, but it is real. So at that time, I think that I was going to ordain in this life, because before that, I think okay, not ever in this life, I'm not going to ordain, because my parents always asked me to ordain, right? But at that moment, I decided to ordain, but maybe not immediately, because I think okay, now I think I'm getting better. So I'm getting better. Maybe I should go to, live more life, something like that. But after the Katina ceremony in Nirodharam that year, and Katina ceremony again in Suthajit, the second branch, then I fully ready. So I told Tan Satha, the Satha Sirik Bhikkhuni, one of the eldest Bhikkhuni in the monastery, that I want to ordain. And after that, I get ordination as a seminary. And then I have to wait for, actually 2 years as a Sikmana, right? And then I had a chance to ordain as a Bhikkhuni, right? But because of the pandemic and because of the Prajan's sickness, they have to
wait.
Be at the monastery. And after that, last year, I get a full ordination. So this is all the story of me with the Nirodharam.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
that's great.
It's really very touching to hear your story, and how the Dharma gives consolation, doesn't it? I mean, it's whatever's happening for us, however difficult, we can find our entry point to the Dharma practice.
Oh, and one more thing, sorry.
Please.
And one more thing, after that, right? That I mentioned that when I was a child in high school, I went to Nirodharam once a year, right?
Yeah.
But every time I was forced to go there. So just like, no, I don't want to go. So I try to like chat myself, something like that. But after I read those 4 sentences, and then I think I want to ordain, but maybe not ready. I have to make sure, like 100% sure. So I asked my mom that, okay, now I'm willing to go to spend 7 days in the monastery to find for myself that is this the truth? It is like I have to like investigate and experience for myself. I'm that kind of person. So for that 7 days, I now, it's amazing, to be able to investigate and to be able to like realize that, okay, this is the truth. How can it be possible that some teachings of the teachings of the Blessed One that, like 2,600 years ago, but still prominent and it's still timeless to this day.
Totally.
So after that, I think that, okay.
It's really inspiring. And how interesting, I'm just taking in that as a born Buddhist, in a Buddhist community, Buddhist family, you would have resistance to that. It's so typical, right, of teenagers that we will, whatever we're given, we have to pull it apart, we have to question it, we have to resist, and we have to have that journey really of turning away. And then maybe, if we're lucky, if we have something, if there's something good there for us, then we turn back when we're ready.
Yes.
And this quality of investigation of Dharma that you're describing is like enlightenment factor. This is so crucial, isn't it, on the path, that we don't just take the Buddha's teachings and swallow them and just believe blindly or fail to actually put them into practice. We have to investigate, we have to be quite skeptical, we have to pull apart the teachings, and we have to find out for ourselves what's true, what's really true for me.
Exactly.
And this you describe so like clearly and beautifully. Thank you for sharing, because we all benefit, don't we, from hearing hearing other people's life stories and reflecting back with our own story. There's so much wisdom here for us. I don't know, I'm kind of tempted to ask Ayya Punyasiri, I don't know if you feel like sharing a little bit about, because you're also obviously born Buddhist, so how was your journey coming into the robes?
Okay. I think everyone has a different reason why we come to this cloth.
Yeah.
For me, myself, I retired at 55 years old. After retirement, I intend to go around the world. That's my intention after retirement. But at the time coming, I found that there's nothing in life. What I'm doing at that time, what I was doing, why I'm so free, nothing to do. That's why I went to Nirodharam at that time and see Prajana Dayani. After the first time, listen to her Dharma talk the first time, something happened to me so exciting and never happened like this before. I found the truth that I never seen for the whole of my life. I found that how stupid I was. I never felt like that before. It's like I see the light is on. I found the truth is everything is not mine, actually. Even though my children that I love the most, actually they are not mine. When I found that feeling that nothing is mine, I go back to the family after 7 days spending with the teacher at Nirodharam. I told everyone, I set up the meeting, I told everyone that I want to go back to Nirodharam and ordain. So I asked permission from them, from the family and everyone concerned. And they agree. They let me do what I want to do. So I gave everything to them, all of my treasure, the house, the car, and everything. I throw it away to everyone related to. And then I left everyone, everything, go back to Nirodharam and ask for ordination as seminary. That's the first time, and that's why I ordained. because I found it. I'm so full for the whole of my life, and not only this life, but any past life before. That's so full. I never seen the truth before. Just the first time that I know by listening for Dharma from Pra Ajahn. So that's why I come back to Nirodharam and ask for ordination. And after 2 years as Samaneri, that I never contact back to the family. The telephone is off. So no contact everyone in the past life. I begin my new life at Nirodharam with only a few clothes. And then after Samaneri ordination for 2 years, I asked for Bhikkhuni ordination. My life has been changed from the first day coming back to Nirodharam up till now. It's 12 years already that I found the truth that being nothing is the most happiest. Yeah. But in the past, that's so foolish that would like to have many things, would like to have this and that and try to follow and run to get it to be ours. Because we believe that it's good and it's there, we're happy with that. This we are so full. When we found the truth, we are not interested in those anymore. And we try to follow the Buddha teaching to the end of the goal of the life, that's end of suffering. That's my way.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much. These beautiful heart sharings. Oh my goodness. I also feel like, so we're different in that I wasn't born a Buddhist, as probably many of you also came into Buddhism later in life. And for me, it was not so different though, considering, even you're born Buddhist, but it's the similar kind of journey, isn't it? Because the same experience of, for me, lay life, very good, very wonderful, but something missing. Like there was always a restlessness and a kind of search going on. And I noticed that the more I had and the more comfortable I was, the less happy I was. It's like, why, how, what? All the Western values were not really making sense to me. The values around acquisition, around material gain, around success, status, all of these things, hollow, shallow, meaningless. And that's really difficult for us, right? Because we're supposed to be happy and we're not. And it's like, what else can I do to be happy? I've come to the end. There's no other options, only to get more or to have more or to be better in the world. And then the Dharma, if we're fortunate, we come across the Dharma, don't we? And it's like, the penny can start to drop. And just as you said, that acknowledgement of our basically unsatisfactory state, that we cannot hope to find happiness in this realm. We can't find completion here. We're not going to be satisfied here. That for me was such a relief. And I came across the Buddha Dharma when I was about 24. And I didn't know anything about Buddhism. I just started meditating. So I went and did a meditation retreat. And even then I didn't quite get that this was the Buddha's teaching. I was just into watching my breath, But I found the benefit of that immediately, beginning to calm down and beginning to kind of unravel all the confusion in the mind, And then very slowly, it took me a long time, I started to take in the Dharma teachings and beginning to understand them. But I must say that every teaching that I came across, every sutta from the Buddha, every verse that I heard, chanting, I couldn't find fault. It's like I couldn't disagree with the Dharma. So this was very interesting. And the mind that wanted to push it away and find fault could not do that. And then you start to land in something real and genuine and true. So what a blessing.
Anyway, all of us are in the same way to the end of suffering at this time.
Absolutely. I'm just having a little look at the chat, Venerables, just to see if there's anybody who might have any questions or comments to share, because this is an open forum. It's lovely to have you all with us. And do feel free, if you'd like to ask the Venerables any questions. to write into the chat. And just looking through to see if we have anything so far. Did lots of lovely hellos. Thank you for being with us, Rick and Julie, Manal, Richard, Sud, Amaranta, P, Lee, Jayantha, Kit, Richard and Louisa. Just some lovely, kind comments. And yeah, thank you all for being with us. Venerables, I wonder if I can ask you a little bit more about the monastery. It may be of interest to people. I've shown them the picture of Nirodharam already, and I'm just aware that there may be some kind of anniversary at this point, 25 years. Is it like an anniversary time, or not a special anniversary, but the monastery's been established for about 25 years already?
More. Okay.
More.
Betty said more than 25 years.
Wow. Okay, so this is like is it like the oldest Bhikkhuni monastery in Thailand?
Oldest Bhikkhuni in Thailand is Silananta. Silananta Bhikkhuni in the northeastern.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And the second one is Thammananta Bhikkhuni in Nakhon Pathom. The third one is Ajahn. Yeah.
How many Bhikkhuni monasteries are there in Thailand?
I'm not quite sure about the number of that, but what I heard about is about maybe more than 50. But it's small one, it's only 1, 2, 3 Bhikkhunis stay over there each. Okay. Yeah.
This is really
small. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some Bhikkhunis stay with the monk temple, with Bhikkhu temple. Yeah,
like,
some of them.
Close together or together?
Together, some.
Like mixed monasteries.
Yeah, some stay together, some separated. It's many different ways of life of them. Because it's in the beginning, so I don't know exactly what to do about it, but they just want to be Bhikkhuni and in different way they try to find out the way of life that they want.
Absolutely. So Ayya's touched on a really important point. Many of you will be aware that in Thailand, the Bhikkhuni order is kind of just beginning to get established. There may well have been Bhikkhunis in Thailand in the past, but there has been more recently only really bhikkhus in Thailand. And being a Buddhist country, of course, so many women also wish to ordain. And there are opportunities for women to ordain, but the full ordination hasn't been available until quite recently. So really, the Venerables and all the other Bhikkhunis in Thailand are something like pioneers, even though living in a Buddhist country and Buddhist culture. So it's really something very special and takes maybe some courage and perseverance to practice in this way. And having said that, I wonder if it's okay to ask you, Venerables, how it is. How is the support? How is the attitude towards you as Bhikkhunis in your area?
What about your area?
Now, in the 7th branch of Nirodharam, it's called Mahavana Tutangka. Mahavana is in big forest in the Vaisari. It's a place that Patachara Potami asked for the ordination. Mahavana. This is the 7th branch, right, in Lampang province, in the north of Thailand. It's quite new because I think I've heard that it's the only Bhikkhuni monastery in Lampang province.
Okay.
So it's quite new. It's not like in Chiang Mai that we've got like 3 Bhikkhuni monastery, right? So it's quite new and quite new to the people and quite new for the bhikkhu, right? So the first time that we went there, the last was sad. So it's quite difficult because we have to like introduce ourselves to the bhikkhu in their order. I don't know, like here you don't have do you have the order for the monks? Like the one in charge in the regions, the one in charge in the province, not
It's not
here.
here.
We don't have that kind of hierarchy. In Thailand, they have so many monks that they have a structure like an ecclesiastical authority and all the different levels, a bit like in the Christian tradition. You have the, archbishops, bishops, and so forth. So in the same way, you have to connect with
To
the
connect with
senior
yes,
bhikkhu of the
the
region.
most senior, and
Right.
we have to go and introduce ourselves. But luckily that we have the Prajanandayani. She's very famous in Thailand with all her hard work and all her dedication. So some of the monks know Prajanandayani, but in the name of when she ordained as a white robe nun, Meshi Rungduan. So some of them know her and just like, okay, I know your teacher, something like that. Some people accept that like with, compassion, with loving kindness, like very, very good. But some people, they just said that they cannot accept because, it's not officially accepted in Thailand. So they cannot accept formally, but they said that if you practice good, if you follow the Dharma and Vinaya and follow the the Noble Eightfold Path, then keep doing that. Please try to stay low, not just because they cannot, formally accept that.
Yes.
So just
So,
you just do, if you do good, just continue to do that and follow the Dhamma and Vinaya, and that's it. You okay, and they're okay with us. And at first, some of them just like, okay, maybe don't come to see me that often or something like that, But after that, we have we call Samijikam. It's like we have to go to pay respect to the bhikkhu, in that order, like twice a year, maybe in Songkran, like Thai New Year's, and then
Songkran.
before Vatsa, right?
Yes, on birthday.
And then to tell like how many Bhikkhuni and how many Samari in the province, and to inform them that okay, now we have to do the alms round. Okay, we go to this direction. We have to ask for permission, something like that. So they have to inform them. So we have to go to do this to inform them, and then to pay respect to them, like maybe twice or 3 times a day, something like that.
Yeah.
And the more we go, the more they
Becomes normal.
becomes normal,
Becomes like, yeah.
but not like 100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, in Chiang Mai, we got a great support from the senior monks
Mm.
and also from many of the lay people that support us in many ways.
Mm.
That's why we can stay for a long time.
Mhm.
Yeah, after Ajahn Hayani passed away, we still got the great support from them too. Like they give us the mercy very much because now we don't have the teacher, so that's why they're coming to visit us and ask, how are you, something like that. There was we got the kindness. They still look after and give their hand to help us what we can do or cannot do. And the lay people still come to visit and provide us something that we still want to, something like that. So the life going on still continue as what Ajahn do as before. We try to follow her direction the most as we can anyway. Yeah, up till now.
Thank you so
Even
much.
it's not so easy. It's more difficult than Ajahn still with us. It's more and more difficult, but we try very hard to follow her direction anyway.
When did your most senior nun, your founder, Ajahn, when did she pass away?
2 years ago.
Quite
1 year and a half.
1 year and a half.
So very recently.
Yeah.
And she was obviously a guiding light. And thank you so much for what you've shared. It's really good for us to learn about the situation in Thailand.
I would like to add more. I'm sorry.
Please.
Prajanandayani always taught us that bhikkhu is like the brother, the older brother in Thailand, right? The older brother. We just like the sister. So whatever the situation might be, stay humble. And the bhikkhu in Thailand, they they dedicate themselves, and they, like for the Pali, for the Tipitaka, the Pali canon, they have to go and then study elsewhere and then come and then translate it in Thai because all many like difficulties in the past, and we just like new edition maybe in the Thailand, right?
Yeah.
So whatever they do is just like stay humble. Like it's one of the Punkriya Vatu, right? To stay humble.
Absolutely.
So this is the merit as well. So
absolutely. Yeah.
So for me, it's quite hard, in the beginning in Lampang province, right? But I try to keep in mind that, okay, stay humble. They're just like the brother. And we still need their, like help, right? With the Ovada. And we have to ask like 15 days Ovada. So we still need their help. So we try to stay humble and then like be like the little sister, something like that. And when they get to know us, they're just like, oh, yeah, okay, come.
Very lovely.
And,
Very lovely. This is just so like, there's so much wisdom in the teachings and advice that you're offered in a country where this is the established way of practice, this is the established order. So we're doing something new, and maybe a little bit, in some ways, could be there could be some resistance to our appearance and our ordination. So we're to be very diplomatic, to be very humble. I'm very struck actually by, for me, the Buddha was really encouraging all of us, so bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and all practitioners, right, to develop humility. So I think, if the bhikkhunis can lead the way in this way, it enables the bhikkhus also to be humble and to be then welcoming and to be supportive. So I really am very touched by that. The image of the little sister and the big brother, we could feel, that's, a bit, jarring maybe for some Western sensibilities, but actually it's a beautiful relationship that you're describing.
And one thing we'd like to add, there's one monk, the one who gave us the Ovada, he said like, it's just like the stool, right? Called a stool, right? That you can sit on.
Stool,
with the 4 legs. Now in Thailand they have 3 legs. So he said like, actually it should have 4 legs, but now 3 legs. But if you come, it's gonna be better. But like the new edition, like the Bhikkhuni Sangha, just don't go and be like arrogant, right? You just go there, humble, and then try to support the system, support the Buddha Sasana. And that's the duty of us, is to support like Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika.
Yeah.
And we all 4 companies, we can, make the Buddha Sasana like longer.
Absolutely. Sadhu. And 3 legs, great. 4 legs,
better.
Wonderful. Much more stable.
Exactly.
And to be able to come in and to provide that, this gives all of us as bhikkhunis like great heart, because we know that we can offer something with humility and just getting on with our practice. The other thing I've really heard from both of you, Venerables, is that the practice, your founding senior nun and all of you, what you're doing, what you're offering in your practice is going to enable a smooth flow. And I'm hearing that in Chiang Mai, this has been happening for quite some decades now. And this slow but steady establishment of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in Thailand, we can all feel very happy about this. And of course the spillover into the West, because many of us have benefited from being in Thailand. Myself, I spent time in Thailand, very inspiring and helpful for my practice. I can't even begin to describe the benefits that I received. And, Venerable Metiko is on his way to Thailand in a few days to spend the Vasa there. We are in a relationship, aren't we? And we're benefiting so much also from the establishment of the Bhikkhunis in Thailand and from the Bhikkhu Sangha in Thailand. Big respect and gratitude. I'm going to have a look and see if we have any questions from our friends who are with us today. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. Let's see. Lots of lovely comments. Thank you for all your nice comments. I do have a question here from Julie. Do we have time? Yeah, we do. Great. Okay, Julie. Venerables, do you have children? How was the process of ordaining with children? Great question. I don't.
I do.
You don't. Ayya Punyasiri, could you?
Okay. For me, myself, I have 3 children. But at that time that I left them, they are adult, more than 20 years old, and they can help themselves. They graduated. That's why I have no worry about them. So I can live them freely from everything. But I'm not quite sure about the one who have small children. Maybe it's very difficult to make decision to leave them because there has many factor concern. So I have to think seriously before if you want to go ordination. So maybe some case different, I think. Yeah, some family has different things to relate it to. It's complicated and seriously, and it's like very much concern because they are children. They are the ones who we love the most, but we have to leave them one day. What's the best way to do? It's very hard to make decision anyway, except you found the truth as the Buddha taught us. You're going to get the wisdom. It's like the light turn on rapidly, and then you're going to know what to do at that time. So at the first step, please go to listen to Dharma talk. Go to see the monk who can give you wisdom, and then you're going to know the way to do. You're going to get the direction for your life.
Thank you so much, Ayya. Wonderful. Okay, there's another, not question, comment from Louisa. It's sad that it's so much harder for women. You must be so brave. Things will change from here, I hope.
I don't think it's that hard.
No.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
And if you think it's hard, but I don't think it's hard, but I think it's worth to try, worth to try. And when you accomplish it, you feel like, I don't know, but feel like the right path might not be easy. It shouldn't be easy. So just look at it as challenging, like a challenge.
Anyway, you can try. You can try to spend some time in the monastery, to spend some of your life to practice yourself on the Buddha teaching. When you try, you're going to get the result. You're going to get a reply yourself. What to do after that? You can try yourself. No one knows except you.
And also, like about the 3 characteristics, right? Anicca, it just changed. The 5 aggregates. It's not like this person gonna be like mad at you all the time, but it's not. Just 5 aggregates, always changing. It depends on the factors, on the knowledge, on the background. He might have heard something. He might have seen something, in the past, and it's like the memory, something like that. But it can change. But if you know that you do the right thing, you follow the Dharma and Vinaya, and you keep doing that. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this question of hard and harder for women, it's really interesting because in a way what's really hard is, for me, it's when I identify with being somebody, whether it's female or male, it doesn't really matter, or anything in between or around that. It doesn't really matter. It's the identification that creates pain. And so what's really interesting for me is that, yes, it's hard to let go of all of that, but then it's easy to practice if we just follow the teachings and really focus on the Dharma. And it does carry us through. And I'm just really mindful that the Venerables in Thailand, maybe, challenges and some struggles, maybe some extra difficulties when compared with the bhikkhus, maybe. But in a way, all of that is kind of fuel for the like we say, grist for the mill in English. It's like fuel for the journey. It's like, you know, whatever hardships we have, we can just put them into the pot and contemplate and investigate and let go of the suffering there. So in many ways, I've often thought that as a person with a female body in a patriarchal culture, which Buddhism, I would say, is a patriarchal culture, because patriarchal culture is really ubiquitous in our world at this time. You know, it's like, that could be seen as a problem, but actually my experience is that it's a benefit to be in a way, within that structure, to be kind of at the bottom of the heap, to be sometimes a non-person or an invisible person. It's a huge benefit spiritually. So it's like everything turns around when we come into the Dharma practice, doesn't it? It's like the worldly stream's going in one direction and the Dharma current is going in the opposite direction. And everything that looks shiny and privileged and, you know, that has status and importance in the worldly stream, in the stream of Dharma, all of these things have to be thrown away. So it's kind of easier in some respects to be in a position where you're not receiving a lot of gain, honor, renown, you know. It's just very interesting. I find there are so many paradoxes here. So these are just a few reflections on your comments. I hope could be helpful. A little bit more in the way of questions, if that's okay for you, Venables. Thank you so much, Peter. We've got a question here. It's not really, if you don't mind, Peter, we'll save that question for another time, just because it's not quite relevant for our conversation.
Can I say from here, if it's off topic a little bit, monk chat, if it's related to Buddhism and Sangha.
Yeah, thank you.
It's more appropriate for monk chat.
Yeah, it would be really appropriate for monk chat. A question about abortion. Very good question, Peter. And please come back to us at the time of monk chat. That would be wonderful for us to deal with it then, to reflect on that question. We have a question from Rick. Venables, can you share how you live? Oops, I've just lost the question. Hold on a sec. Can you share how you live the Vinaya as Bhikkhunis? Just maybe any short comment or reflection on the Vinaya, how you live that as Bhikkhunis. How is it for you?
Vinaya is the best thing for us. Vinaya is the thing that makes us save our life the most because of Vinaya. Because it's like the Buddha gave us the way to walk, which way you should go, which way you should not go, something like that. So Vinaya for Bhikkhuni, even though it seems to be there a lot, but the more Vinaya means more safe to Bhikkhuni life. That's it.
Sadhu. Thank you.
For me, myself, I'm very happy to be myself in Vinaya, in the frame of Vinaya. To be safe in the frame of Vinaya. If you go out from this, that means I'm not safe. So if we believe in the Buddha teaching, we're going to know that what he gave us is the best thing for us to do. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
For me, because like 4 years as seminary and Sikhamana, right? So I've got a lot of years to explore the Vinaya. And before I ordained, I think like 111 Vinaya, like seem like a lot, like difficult to do, right? I cannot do this, I cannot do that, like very stressful, something like that. But Prajanandayani told me that Vinaya should come together with wisdom. You should have the right wisdom to know like why the Buddha said this, why that the foundation is like he wanted to be safe, right? This is not the right way, then you should do this, and it's better for the mind, it's better to like abandon the unwholesome qualities, something like that. So once I become a bhikkhuni, and I understand that like it's not that hard, it's just like the normal life with we know the frame that this is what we should do, something like that, and just lead a normal life.
Yeah, so Yeah, I can only echo what the Venables have said. Just this sense of the Vinaya, it's a felt sense of the Vinaya as like a safe container, and you can feel the walls. Sometimes you can get close to the walls and you can feel the heat, and you just come back and you feel, oh, that's cool. It's cool in here. Thank you for your question. Okay, just seeing if there's anything else. Yes, Julie, thank you. Julie's asking, Venables, do you have a bhikkhu for a teacher or a bhikkhuni?
Yes, I do. Many of them. Many of people are our teacher too. It's not only bhikkhunias anyway. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. Yeah.
Teacher is teacher, not bhikkhu, not bhikkhuni. Teacher means teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. A very lovely thing about the holy life, and anyone who's interested in investigating gender, really, is that we come to recognize that it's really not an issue, it's not really a factor. What's really important is to hear the Dharma. And anyone who's teaching the Dharma in a good way, we can discern for ourselves, and if it seems good, we can tune in and listen and learn. And yeah, I too have many bhikkhu and also bhikkhuni teachers. And actually, the sense of many is coming across, isn't it? And that's quite an interesting point in a way for us, is that we're very blessed, right? All of us, because there are so many Dharma teachers, both in robes and out of robes. Particularly for the monastics, we benefit so much from learning from elders and wise ones in the holy life. And there are many. So, you know, it behooves us to take that, the opportunity to listen to many different teachers and find our way through the different voices of Dharma. You know, this is just a thought. For some people, it's maybe more beneficial to connect closely with one teacher and to follow their teachings to the letter. But often, for many of us, it's helpful to look around and have a broader listening capacity to take in the Dharma. I think probably for each one of us to feel out for ourselves how this works. But good to have teachers and guides on the path, for sure, if not essential. Yeah, thank you, Julie. And okay, I think there's a question here from Peter. Just reading through. I understand part of to be a bhikkhu, you aren't supposed to have any money anymore. But what if someone has a pension, money that being transferred? Okay, I think this is a good one again for monk chat. It's a great question. Sangha, monastic Sangha and finance. This question, could you bring it back to us, please, on monk chat? Really appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, actually, that's really all the questions we have at the moment. Unless I'd like to invite.
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Venerable, can you maybe speak on if you see a difference, or is there a difference? Otun, patience, otun, like patient.
Otun.
In Kanti, like the difference, or even otun in your own practice as a bhikkhuni in Thailand, was that Korean reply?
Would they have heard the question? Okay, the wonderful question from Venerable Metiko. He's asking about the quality of patience, otun, and how that relates to the practice for the Venerables. Thank you so much.
I think we say otton with the thing that we dislike it. With the thing that we dislike it. We are unhappy with that. We have to be otton with that thing. Yeah, we feel unhappy with that, but we have to. So we are otton with those things. But for khante, meanings we practice ourselves to be stand still in the middle way, not to move to be lobha or tosa. Meaning in the middle, you are khante. You take khante at this time. You are not swinging. You're not swinging to lobha, not swinging to tosa. You must be kante in the middle way. There was a difference. Is that okay?
Thank you.
So otton is like if you're in a difficult situation,
Yep.
and there might be aversion,
Yeah.
then you stay very still,
Yeah.
very steady,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like grace under pressure.
Grace under pressure,
Yeah.
Venerable Matiko says, like grace under pressure.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to
the
do
English.
It's like, for example, you have to do something you dislike it, but you have to do it. So you must be otton with that. Yeah, something like that. So something speak with you, but you dislike them, what they say to you. You must be otton to listen to them. Something like that. In many situations, you must be otton.
Venerable Matiko is learning Thai.
Very simple,
Preparing
very
for his
simple.
time in Thailand.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
simple explanation.
But it's pretty often because sometimes I
Yeah.
confused. Yeah. The difference between kanti.
Yeah.
Kanti and otton.
Otton with unsatisfied situation. But kante, not different, very much
Different
different.
quality.
Yeah. Even you satisfied or unsatisfied, you can be kante. Okay? Yeah, that's what a different. Very much different.
Kanti also means patience in English, but what we're hearing is these two words for patience in Thai have very different flavor. How interesting. Kanti in the Pali language, patience is a parami, it's a virtue that we are encouraged to cultivate.
Oh, patience.
Patience, yeah, we say patience. But for both, maybe we would use the same word.
Yes.
But we could think of some other
Patience.
words.
Otton.
We can think, what's otton, like grit your teeth?
Patience.
Tolerance, maybe.
Tolerance, yes.
Tolerance.
Oh.
Because tolerance is like you just stay steady with something difficult. You just you tolerate, you open to it. I mean, like,
I would like to add on your question that how do we use like otton in the Bhikkhuni
Yeah, if you do,
in
I don't know.
life, right? Like for me, I have the rheumatoid arthritis nowadays even, so it's painful. So, but we have to like to sit to do like everyone have to do, right? So you have to tolerate the pain.
Yeah.
But the thing we do, like if we try to otton, it's gonna be like tosa, right? Aversion, tosa. I don't want to do this. I have to like suppress the pain or something like that. It's not like that. But if you know, like, oh, it's just the vedana because of there's contact, there's vedana. So it's just a normal thing. But the vedana, it just like arise and ceases, you know. So if you try to see like the state of flux, right? It fluctuates. So it's just like the exam. It's like the test for me. Like, okay, this is like up or now it's down, it's up. So if you think of the pain in the past, I think of it like something that I have to tolerate. It's like very, very hard for me to, you know, like pass through each day. But if I think of it as a test, like, okay, now I have like kammathan, the thing to meditate, like right here in the body. So it's like it's beneficial for me. Like, oh, now I can do like, okay, now the suffering occur, like the vedana, dukkha vedana now occur, and now it's like it's fluctuate, like it's not in the same degree, but now it just ceases, just pass away. So you can use the.
I see your situation. At the beginning, you are otton, and then you upgrade to be kante.
Something like that.
Yeah. At the beginning, otton, and then otton again and again to be kante. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. This case.
This example is really clarified.
For example, this case, very good question.
Thank you.
And I'm really like hearing how pain is if we're not really mindful, it's just a solid, difficult, intense, aversion-filled experience. But if you apply the mindfulness to the physical pain, then something different is happening, and it's almost like breaking up and dissolving in some way, or manageable chunks, little chunks, and then you begin to feel you have some, how to say, you have kanti. You have kanti with this.
Oton is less degree than kanti. Kanti is more degree than oton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Wow, so rich. Dear friends, it is actually time to conclude this meeting. I really feel like we could go on, and hopefully we'll have a chance to hear more from the Thai visiting Venerable friends in the next couple of weeks, because they're here with us for a fortnight at Empty Cloud. So what a blessing. And Venerable Metiko.
I was going to say, people don't know what a fortnight is.
Oh, fortnight, is that like ink speak? 2 weeks. They're here for 2 weeks. I'm here for the whole Vasa, so I look forward to hopefully having a chance to do some more live streams. And dear Venerable Metiko will be leaving us soon. Huge gratitude for your support this morning, and like huge support. I know over the last month while the Venerables were in Italy, Venerable Metiko holding the fort. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu to you. Do you use that expression, holding the fort?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
to test my English.
holding the fort down.
Thank you very much for being with us, everyone. Take care. Have a good day.
I think on the top it says like end broadcast.
Thank you, Venerables.